online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hi! Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV, Dancing with the Stars. I have to tell you, this is pretty exciting. We, this morning, had a different mix of people. Now we have a new mix of people. We just never know who's going to show up in studio, and I love this. So, I'm Kristyn Burtt. Let me talk to who's right next to me, Darvina Plante.
Hey guys, how are you?
Sitting in for, I'm going to say Anna Trebunskaya, who's in Croatia.
Sure.
All right, you're Anna today. In the center right there, Suri Serano.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Now, we were supposed to have Jake up until about 3 o'clock today, and he has another audition, so good luck.
Showbiz life.
Good luck, Jake.
Right?
Good luck, Jake. I know he's auditioning for something at the Hollywood Bowl, so hopefully he'll get that. We can see him this summer.
Yeah.
But in LA for only 2 weeks, and making a stop at the AFTERBUZZ Studios. Gleb, I don't think we've seen you since you stopped by season 17 for us.
17, right. Hey guys, what's up? I'm
Welcome
back.
Welcome back.
So
A
good to
very
see
successful, both of you, stint in Russia,
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars, and the lovely Elena.
Hello, thank you for having me today.
I know, I'm so glad you joined us.
Thank you.
I know, I'm excited.
I love having
My first time ever.
First time ever here. I know. We should have had you earlier. I don't know what happened there, so we'll talk about that. All right. We have a lot to talk about. We've got double elimination week. I don't think unexpected eliminations compared to last week. Last week was the shocker with Mark and Willow. But I thought some good dancing as we're getting here towards the finish line. So.
Yeah, there was good dancing for week 8, for sure.
Yep. Let's go right into it and talk about this is America's Choice Week. We kicked it off with Noah and Artem. No, that is not Noah and Artem. How about I was like, I wrote Noah and Artem though. That's the weird thing.
Did.
Noah and
see it.
Sharna. It's Noah and Sharna. Sharna looks nothing like Artem. They're both very hot though. Doing the tango. I want to see Noah and Artem do a tango now that I wrote it down.
Oh my
Let's
God.
make it a reality.
That's funny.
Now, you were in the studio, and you were in the studio this week, so we've got a great perspective. TV, and then what happened when you guys saw it with your own eyes. So let's start right off with this tango. And I'm going to start with you guys. What did you think of it? Because this is the first time seeing Noah.
That was the first time, yeah. Well, I saw a couple of YouTube videos, and I think Sharon is doing an amazing job. Noah is he's a real hero. Come on. With no arm and no leg, doing that, it's just unbelievable. And if you think about it, it's just one side, his whole left side, and keeping that balance, that kind of choreography, what Sharon is doing, is just, hands down. I was really surprised, and I was shocked. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it.
For me, after all I've seen in India, in Russia, it was my first thoughts was nothing is impossible. So no matter what, you can dance, you can enjoy life. It's nothing. There is no end for anything, for dancing, for love, for beauty, and Noah is the perfect example for this.
I love that. And what did you think about the number?
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite numbers he did by far, and all I kept saying to myself as well out loud was, I cannot imagine how many women and men he is inspiring everywhere.
All over the world, because it's most popular TV show all over the world, so it's everybody watching it, no matter in Russia, in UK, and in a small European country, and it's really inspiring for all the people who just sit at home and thought it's enough, something happened, life is over. Life is not over.
Right.
No, and he's showing that. And I wonder, because he's done a lot of work with veterans here in the U.S., but I don't know if he realizes his global impact, and I don't know if he'll know that until maybe he does some international travel and sees that people do know who he is.
For sure.
What did you see with the tango?
I thought it was a great routine. There was nothing in there that I was there was no dodgy moments. I feel now we're coming to the end of the competition. You can see that, he's got a hold on those nerves, and it was a great routine. There was a really, really strong out the gate powerful number.
On Tuesday, they've showed a package from the rehearsal, the before, like when they go through the whole show, and he fell. There was like a moment where he fell on his like back or whatever, and he was really stressed about it that he won't be able to do it on the show, and he did it. It was so slick. It was like I didn't even know that movement so hard for him, but it was just really good.
Yeah, we don't realize like what certain moves are that hard, and I think it was like the last pose that he and Sharna did that is the one that he fell on, and he just like nailed it on the show. But you know, things like that can rattle you, and we have to remember again, he's not a performer, he's not an actor, you know, he's not someone that is a dancer, and it's kind of amazing to be able to just like, I'm not gonna let this rattle me, I'm just gonna go and do exactly what I'm supposed to. 8-7-8-8 for a total of 31 on this. I thought some good scores.
I would give him more, like
Would you?
9.
Yeah,
If
we
I
have a
would
judge here now.
judge, yeah. Like, I would give 9. Even though I was the hardest one, the toughest one in Russia, like usually I give 6, 7.
Yes.
The top of my mark was like 9. So I would give him 9 because, you know, like for all the clever routines and how he nailed it and went through, and he always keep eye on Sharna, so which is like he's not solo dancer, and it's all work together like good mixture.
I love that. Yeah, Len's been hard on him. I always feel like he's like, well, I don't know if I can judge you, and I'm always like, just give him.
Because he has said every week, like, you're
He
just
gives him the
amazing.
props, but he always like, just give him the point. Give him the 8
I see what
at
you're
least, you know. I don't know.
Time. It's time, Len.
It is time. Whitney and Chris doing contemporary. Probably his best dance of the season, I think.
I would say so.
Yeah. And what did you see in studio?
I loved the routine. I thought it was a great number for them to go out on. The song was great, Lay Me Down, and the way it was stripped down too with the contemporary, I thought was just the perfect pairing. And it seemed like their connection, ironically, it was just on point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really was, I felt, the best that they had danced together. And I think contemporary suited him. I know they said that, you know, he needed to move further with his movements, but I thought he did a great job. I thought he really, you know,
for
embodied the
never
dance.
danced before,
He's a farmer.
Exactly. Doing that with an open shirt, tight pants, you know, lifting Whitney, throwing her around the floor, it was great. I thought it was nice.
He was also the Bachelor. He's used to juggling lots of ladies, you know. But I think this was good because we've never seen a lot of emotion out of him at all through anything, whether it's a jive or maybe the jive the very first week. He came out of the gate really strong, and then he kind of struggled the rest of. I felt like the rest of the season, but I felt like this one he was like in touch with himself. It's good.
You're so
his inner, you know, his inner soft.
He is a
farmer.
softie. You can tell he's a softie.
You watched the season, so you might see it more.
I did watch the season of The Bachelor, so and I'm a fan of his. You know, for what it was, he killed it. I mean, he is the most improved by far, in my opinion, of everybody. Like from where he started to where he is, and that it was time. I know we'll get to that point, but I know it was great. It was good. It just. I don't feel. I would have liked to seen a little bit more content maybe from him, but I know that we were pushing it.
Yeah, with the two dances too that week. I think that's,
we were pushing
stressful.
it. But amazing job for him.
Yeah,
where he's come from. I mean, it's awesome.
It was a good note to end on. What did you think of the contemporary piece?
It wasn't that my choice of the day.
Yes.
I would say, like, I like the other dance, their Passomo. It's like, but for me, it was like not enough air in their routine. It was I saw more Whitney rather than him. So Whitney did extremely good job. She looks beautiful with all these lifts and the tricks. I never saw them before, like unique movements. But he handled it perfectly. So they work as a team, wonderful. So he always was there for her, pick her up, you know, lift her, put her down. So everything was synced on time.
I know.
And she was
Run around,
perfect.
do all the lifts themselves, and throw themselves up and down.
That's true. He makes a good judge.
That's true. I mean, especially in ballet, it's just like catch the girl, spin the girl, hold the girl.
Right?
That's what I felt like I was watching the whole time.
Yeah. 9-8, 9-8 on that one for 34. I mean, those were great scores for him, considering, you know, in the middle there, he had a lot of sevens, 6s and 7s. So, and then we're going to go to probably one of my favorite couples of the night, Riker and Allison doing a Viennese waltz. I'm not sure if it was like super Viennese waltz, but
That was the Gleb quote. Like, that was Viennese waltz.
I thought it was like, I mean, as a up-to-date Viennese waltz, probably yes.
21st century Viennese waltz.
22nd century Viennese waltz. But I mean, he's a great dancer. You can see that, like his rhythm, his performance. She's amazing. The routines, I watched them through out the whole season, and from the day one until today, you know, it's just great. I think they're one of the couples who's going to be in top 3. Personally, my opinion. Viennese waltz, yes and no. A little bit too. I agree with Len. A little too
strong.
hard, too strong.
Too strong.
I would give a little bit
Physically,
more,
too physical.
you know, fluidity in the movement, in the arms, not so hard and physical. But I think
maybe
he
it's
really
because of the
tried.
music. The music was like the melody that it was so strong. So like if they would have a softer movement, so it wouldn't look good.
As a numbers, the performance is great.
did they
I
need
really
more
like that.
holds? Because Viennese waltz usually has more holds, and they were apart a lot.
I've
I would
noticed.
add it.
Yeah.
I've noticed there was no right turn.
Right turn.
There's a right turn and a left turn in the Viennese waltz.
They
It's
do
usually
left turn and
a basic
figure.
figure that you have to use it. Like everyone's doing it.
Because we here in Russia also look for the like basic steps as well, and in other countries as well. So that's supposed to be like 60% of the routine based on the basic steps. So even we don't have music, we can see that that's waltz, that's tango, that's rumba. So because we can see the basic steps. If it's not enough basic step, we can say it like, oh, it's contemporary, maybe it's jazz, with the elements of rumba or cha-cha.
But as a show number, it's great. I liked it. Yeah,
And
I thought it was good.
Allison's not, I mean, her base is not ballroom, so I mean, her base is contemporary. So I think all of her pieces, when they are like a Viennese waltz or quick step, they all have an element of contemporary to them.
This is
So
true.
but they're always
this kind
powerful.
of give it space, like spaces, like so it give elements to make it fresh and new for viewers to watch it.
Yeah,
It's not that
her choreography is always fresh.
fresh and new.
Always. Yeah.
I think for me this week with watching Riker and Allison, it was seeing the emotional connection and him getting into that character, because I've not really seen him kind of give a more emotional, less kind of performy routine. So I thought he held that to the end. At the end you saw him and he was still in his moment with his partner. So I thought it was a great routine.
I did too. Did you see the package before too? Where Allison was like, make sure
The
you
penguin?
No,
penguin package?
The penguin package.
Penguin down! Penguin down!
That was good.
That was amazing.
It was the one from last night when she was like, make sure you connect with me. They were definitely working
I want
on
to feel it, she said. When you bring my face around, I want to make sure I feel it. And I think he did a good job at that for sure.
It was awesome. Loved it. They had me from the very first count, for sure. But I was curious about. It's so fascinating listening to these two kind of break it down and how it should be. Because if you had asked me what dance was that, I would I'm not really sure.
I do. This is a lot this season. I'm like, it's a salsa. It's a samba.
I know.
We did that a million times.
It's so true.
There's been a lot of it's a hybrid. It's really what it is. They're hybrid dances. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Fantastic job.
That's what makes it so amazing, and you just don't want to see a pure maybe samba, because you've been seeing it for 10 years already. You want something new. It's still a samba. There are steps as a samba steps, but it's a show number.
Yep.
That's what makes it so cool.
And Allison always brings a show.
Yes, she does.
Always. Always. 10, 9, 10, 10. So 39. I mean, definitely sealing the fact that they are probably going to be in the finale. There's only 3. We've got 1 week left. I don't know. Anything could happen, but
I hope so.
I hope
he
so,
deserves
too.
it.
Fingers crossed.
I know. I want to see Allison's freestyle is what it is.
Definitely.
How does that woman throw it down in a finale? You know that she's got all these great ideas.
yeah.
So, Robert and Kim doing contemporary are, as I always call them, the little cutie patootie couple. They're so cute.
They are cute.
So sweet. Doing a dance to Champagne Kisses.
Well, I like the kiss. I think we were all waiting for that kiss, weren't we? But
I thought they would kiss on the end. I was waiting for that.
I did too. That's what I was waiting for. Nope.
But we all know they're kissing when the cameras are off, right?
Lay it down,
You
girl.
can't make up chemistry like that.
No.
I mean, and they clearly have a lovely friendship or whatever it is going on.
Maybe it's official. Kissing officially.
I heard they're going to Cabo this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Look at me. Team Sharkaroos got the inside scoop on the relationship.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Love it.
Who wants to start on this routine? Anybody?
I mean, I thought the routine was, it wasn't that great for what I've seen with them week after week, but I think we were coming to the end anyway of what more can you do with just great, energy and enthusiasm, but there has to be, the technicality too, and I think he was struggling, and I think that this week was his week to go, so I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wasn't looking at him like, what are you going to give me this week? Do you know what I mean?
Right. You weren't expecting something different.
No,
You kind of knew what to
I wasn't
expect.
surprised.
Yo, Suri, you look like something the cat just
I was a bit underwhelmed, and my thoughts while I was watching it, the first half of it was like, well, maybe if I was in studio, I would feel a lot different. Like the emotion of it, you can feel their chemistry a little bit more. I don't know, I just kind of wrote down that charisma only takes you so far. Like, I will always remember how much he enjoyed every single week and working every single week, and I will always remember his face and kind of that aspect of it. But week 8, I need to see good dancing.
You need the content at that point.
I totally agree with that. I don't remember the dance. I don't remember the routine.
I remember her costumes.
I remember
Such a beautiful
the face, and he enjoyed it so much that I thought that's what he did in his second dance and his first dance, and the chemistry and the passion and the love, and he gave everything. He's not a dancer, but he enjoyed it so much, and he was really bummed that he got voted off because he was really wanted to be in that semifinal. I'm sure. He even wanted to buy some extra points from the judges.
Could they be bought? I think for all of us, though, it was nice to see Kim back. We missed her.
So nice.
Yeah, and I, from what I'm understanding, she's going back to Dancing with the Stars Australia, from what I've been hearing.
As a judge.
As a judge, yeah.
Yeah.
So we won't see her next season. So it just, I know, but it was just great, and it was just nice to see the two of them together and see someone that, even though he wasn't a dancer, just really appreciate the experience of it, because I think anyone, like you'd probably say, like as a pro, you at least want someone that's going to commit to it, that's not like unfocused in the studio. You want someone that's like, all right, I'm going to do this.
You want someone, it doesn't matter if they're professional dancers, they're zero dance experience, but they just want to be in that studio, they want to do a show. That's when you really
They're willing
wanna
to
work
try
with them.
new things.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
Go with that open mind.
Yeah, just
Fabulous
about
story.
from the box, try new things and trust your partner and believe in everything what happened around.
They did it though. They did. I mean,
know.
like you knew
I know.
it. You knew it.
Yeah.
8898. He got a 9. Someone liked it. Yeah, that was Julianne.
Someone liked it.
Someone liked it. Someone was like, that was a 9. That was a chemistry 9, I think. So 33 is the score. And then we go on to Nastya and Dasha, as I like to call them. But I'm trying to make this as Russian as possible. Dasha. Yes, but of course, Sasha dancing for Derek. Derek was in the number as what, Caesar? In the Paso Doble. And I love that Derek said that he was keeping up like Mark Ballas's costume end. So he...
After Julianne said her
funny.
brother looked ridiculous, it was amazing.
That was amazing.
You need your sibling to make fun of you.
Definitely.
I think this is where a lot of people started debating, because we're getting the debates between the rumor, what's happening with rumor, what's happening with Nastya on that dance floor. For me, Nastya is showing a strength that I think that we haven't seen, and I feel like she's starting to dance with the freedom over the last 2 weeks, whether it was like a breakthrough or whatever else, or it's easier for her to learn in the studio. What do you think?
I just wanted to add to that what you're saying. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Derek's injury has now kept him in LA, and they have a lot more time together. So he's able to really work on all of her weaknesses. Yeah. So I think that's a huge part of it. It's a blessing in disguise, his injury, for them as a couple moving forward.
Not for Derek, unfortunately.
No,
yeah.
but
And it's gotta be hard. I mean, and she talked a little bit about it. I'm not sure if it was last night or the Monday night, but the switching of the partners. challenging because everyone holds a little differently. A slight difference in height makes a huge difference, and
Different leading.
different leading, exactly. And she was having Derek, and then originally the first couple weeks, you know, Henry was doing the camera blocking, and then it was Sasha that stepped in. So there's been a lot of shifting around, and she's handled it very well, I have to say. Other contestants would have melted down at this point.
100%. I think actually maybe this is what has kind of opened her out of her shell a little bit, as we are starting to see more of her personality, even though, you know, the package, we were talking about it, you know, it seemed as though she was a little bit upset with the way she had come across, but I wasn't offended by it. I felt like, it was like, she's a human being, she's normal, you know, she's going through all of this and she's tired and she's, you know, working really, really hard, and that was the way it came across, and I didn't find it rude or like that she was icy or anything. If anything, I found it relatable, you know. So
I had a moment like that last week at work, and I'm glad it wasn't videotaped.
Glad everyone
I wish it had been. I would like to see a Kristyn Burtt moment like that.
I don't believe it.
No, I get frustrated, and it looked pretty much just like that, where you're just like, come on, you know what I mean? And when people ask questions, I think it was smart to walk away. I always think that's great. Just like, no, I'm good. I don't need to talk about this.
Nastia's always been very camera friendly and very good about keeping things in and being camera friendly, meaning on, you know. So that you could see in the package Tuesday night, I think it was, that she was really upset or something, or maybe it was after Monday night.
They played it again on Tuesday, just for dramatic.
And she said that reference that's how when people perceived her in gymnastics sometimes coming across that way, and there is truth to that. So I could see why she was upset by that. But that was 5 seconds from a whole week.
And she's a sweet girl, so there's What did you guys think of the paso?
I think Derek is doing an amazing job choreographing for them, and Sasha is doing a great job too. Paso was great. The whole concept, the choreography, I thought that was the most musical dance choreography. Choreographed to the music they had out of the whole night. It was great. All of the accents and the highlight of the the ending, that flip.
They used their possibilities to show off their own abilities, which is perfect. That the unique Derek can do for every single star. So he found the all pluses and show off the plus, the key.
Yeah, he knows
to open up that celebrity.
I love that.
I thought, who's a pro, who's a professional, who's an amateur. It was a really good number. It's great.
It's nice to see the progress of Nastia too. I think over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks for sure. She's shining and getting better. Last week and this week, I'm happy to see that. And Derek did say that this costume on her was probably his most favorite costume on one of his celebrities ever.
Because he watched it from the side, so you can see it.
He's like, I put in some good design elements.
I love the concept. That was my favorite part of the whole number.
Yeah,
the whole Derek's
the
magic.
sword with the cape on the end. Yeah. Oh my gosh! And I saw the Sasha. He was holding the sword, so it looked stable.
I love that little behind the scene thing.
Right? Sitting on the side, it was like,
I see the trick.
He's alive.
They got all 9s for this one. Do you think that was 9? Do you think there should have been a 10 in there? Considering the level of dancing? You thought it was fair?
Yeah, I think, I'm excited to see next week for those two, especially, depending on who she's dancing with. Regardless, it's still going to be a firecracker of a routine. I think Derek's going to really step it up. So I think it was good to hold off on the 10s, for sure.
More room to grow. Not that she didn't get 10s later on.
Right?
Yeah. Val and Rumor doing the rumba. I just put a heart. I really liked this number. It was very simple, and I think Julianne during this piece was just like, sometimes just breaking it down and not having the sets and everything else. Sometimes that's what we need. We need a little more simplicity.
You know what? I felt like I was watching I felt like I was on set of a major motion picture film, movie scene being filmed with an amazing actress that can dance. It was great. For me, it took me, that's where I felt like some big grand movie scene. That's what it felt like.
Well, that's from Baz Luhrmann's Strictly Ballroom, that that piece of music that they used, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and she does the Baz Luhrmann show here in LA.
She does?
So, yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that For the Record Live. So I think that it was kind of like a nice little touch, personal touch to it all.
She's beautiful.
I agree. It was just a classic dance, from straight to finish. I think her technique has really, she's really been working. She's not just going out there and relying on her performance background. You can see she's putting the time in the studio. I mean, you guys would know more than I would, but, it seems like she's consistently working on her arms and, opening out this area, because they did talk about that. And I was just in it. Just those two together are just a
Totally
great
agree with
partnership.
that. It was great to see some of the simple steps, which maybe doesn't make that much a visual effect, but we know how hard it is in the leading and the timing it together. Him, a man and a woman, and that's it. It was perfectly done. Great choreography, I think. A lot of basic, a lot of content. Just great rumba. She was
Like
beautiful.
cucaracha, the hip action, the sync cucaracha together.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Just simplicity. That's always gonna work. Like if you have a good technique.
Yeah, and rumba on the show sometimes falls apart very quickly. On Dancing with the Stars, it's hard. It's hard to be intimate with the partner too, because it is a very sexy, sultry dance. So it's kind of nice when you see, it can work very well with the right partners. So
For me, she's in the lead. For me, she's like the front runner.
yeah, I think so.
Which
and
is surprising for me to say, because I thought Nastia was going to be the one for me. I mean, that's no secret. Everybody knows that. They were my couple.
yeah,
going in.
and it's I feel like it's like this weird, we've got these three couples that really are at the top. You've got the Riker and you've got Nastia and you've got Rumor, and I feel like it's constantly this person's on top and then this person the next week. So I
Can we
kind of
have
like
three
that.
first places?
Why not?
Keeping us on our toes, that's for sure.
I just want to say, Val got in touch with his softer side too. We saw a few tears. Is that Val? The Val you know?
No. Oh my God, Val, what's happening? Come on, man.
Said to me like, what happened with Val? Why he's so sensitive?
Maybe he fell in love. I don't know.
Maybe he's in love.
Maybe.
You never know.
Oh, jeez.
They've been very there's no showmance. They've been very adamant about that. But maybe post show. I don't know.
Well, it's nice to see. I mean, look, Val is a task master. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to push you and push you and push you. And it was nice to see a moment. I'm sure it was just a fleeting moment where he was like, am I taking the fun out of, everybody? Because he pushes. And of course he's going to push with her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And he always gets it done. He always gets it done with his partners.
And I think they were frustrated the last 2 weeks. I don't think that they were at the level of performance that they wanted to be. And I think that this week felt better for them.
Sure.
It's the right step for them
Yeah.
to go close
Take it back to
final.
basics,
Yeah.
I think, is the way forward for them too.
Yeah, I think you're right. They don't need big things.
No.
Maybe
they don't need
Fancy
bootylicious.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to
All right, so they got the first perfect score of the season across the board.
Wow.
You were there for that. You were
Well
there for that.
deserved.
Before we do go into the trios, I just want to mention, I know a lot of you are downloading on iTunes. We want to thank you so much for listening on podcast, the app, and if you are rating us, remember, we'd love it if you do 5 stars.
5 stars, please.
Thank you.
It helps us.
It does help us, absolutely, and we appreciate the comments that come in on YouTube, and for all of you watching our live stream on YouTube this season, this has been amazing. So I know everyone chats with each other while the show goes on.
Yeah.
We don't get to see those comments.
No,
they
we
don't.
don't.
They don't get archived. So
Maybe we should over here somewhere.
yeah, or someone
That'd be so fun.
someone do screen caps for us. Let us know what's going on. We have no idea.
Oh, now we're going to get bombarded on Twitter with
I
us.
know,
Thank you.
I know. You're welcome. All right. Trio is always one of my favorites of the season. I always think that this is one of my favorite weeks just because you have to think outside the box and really work on and see what the celebrities' strengths are and sort of play those up. And we go to what I think was a very underscored salsa trio, Emma, Sharna, Noah.
You think it was underscored?
It was
What'd
all,
they get?
They
I
got
think
all
so.
8s.
I think so.
I could have found a 9 in there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I could have found a 9.
Or maybe even a 10.
Yeah. Talk about why this is so difficult again.
Well, first of all, Latin American dancing, you have to have 2 arms, 2 legs to be able to move your body and use a lot of rotation. And Noah, I mean, it's impossible for him to do that. And when you have 2 partners, salsa, one of the fastest dances. You know, switching them around, turning sides, using his body, playing with the camera, enjoying, doing a great performance, difficult steps, holding them. It's just
them.
crazy.
Two of them.
At the same time, in the beginning, it was like beautiful posture.
tableau, yeah.
Beautiful. Just like, how's happened? Like, what is this? It was like somehow they made it up, everything.
It was so
Amazing.
good.
Sharna is really clever doing that choreography. I thought it was really brilliant.
For me, Sharna is 10.
Yeah,
She like,
I would
I don't
give
know
it
how
10.
she's doing this, but it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to think outside the box because we've talked a lot about, you know, because it's his left arm, it's, you know, his leading arm.
Yes.
So how do you do that? And she's had to reverse what she normally does to make that all work. So I think that, you know, all your training that you've had, now you have to throw it out the window and kind of rethink everything.
And also they pick salsa, which is like, they could pick any other dance more slower and, you know, not that difficult, but they're not going with the easy way. They decide to go with the hardest, you know, and pick the hardest dance to be able to compete with other couples on the same level. So they're not doing the easy job.
Yeah, that's
At
true.
all.
That is true.
That's one thing they've done this entire season. I felt
Yes.
like they've always gone for the challenge as
For the
opposed
challenge,
to
exactly, yeah. They're not doing like, oh, you know, we're gonna do simple work. No, they want to do exactly the same like other couples do on the same level, with the same.
And it looks like that. It
Yes.
looks the routine,
Absolutely same.
everything, the
Same
speed
level.
and the.
That's why I would judge them on the same type of marks, 9, 10, not lower than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I got all the 8s, I was like, really?
They
Sharon-
did
you can
some
tell
cool
Sharon
stuff
was
with their
disappointed by
arms
them
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
They did lots of like with the 3 of them, you
Yes.
know. That
5
was
arms,
so
same
cool.
with
Yeah,
the-
I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
it was so great.
Major
Yeah.
hairography too.
Major. You know, I also want to say his performance level has come up tremendously. Like, you know, he didn't have the face going on at first, and he's just like nailing it. My boyfriend was watching me yesterday, and he was like, "Look at him! He's got Sharna on one arm, Emma on the other," and he's like, "Yeah,
Loving it.
who wouldn't?" But I mean, but he's performing now too, which I think is great.
Yep.
I love it. And then his
better.
girlfriend's there on the audience every week.
So sweet.
I love that.
She's adorable.
So I'm just gonna say I didn't agree with 8s. I don't know if anyone else. I know you guys.
I think we're all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. More points. All right. Then we go to Chris, Whitney, and Lindsay doing a paso. And I was actually in studio last year when the trios were happening, and it was Whitney, Lindsay doing a paso, but with Alfonso, the eventual winner. And that was an amazing paso.
That was a great paso.
That was a
Yeah.
great paso. And I have to say that I love Whitney and Lindsay's friendship. It's just so sweet, and I love that they're just still buddies and everything else. And I love that she picks her like, you're going to do my trio with me. How do we think Chris did? I thought he looked a little stressed in this dance.
He was a little stressed.
She was like,
That's a good way of putting it.
I didn't just look stressed out. 2 dances is hard, and then you have a
Yeah.
second girl to dance with.
It's a lot. It's
hard.
definitely a lot. Will you go in, Han?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just interrupted you. Like, yeah.
Whitney and Lindsay, perfect girls with Chris. Great choreography, great dance, costumes, music, and everything. But what I've missed a little bit is the concentration from him and the feeling, the paso character. He wasn't really into that dance. You know, if he would give it a little bit and the paso posture, he would nail it for sure.
Obviously, the analogy of like burning your crops and your soybeans that she gave. Did you hear
my
Whitney
God.
in the package?
What?
She's like, we want you to be strong and everything, and pretend that I'm here and I'm like burning your crops. And you're mad. She's like, your corn and your soybeans. And I was like, I love Whitney so much. She's amazing. But that analogy, I guess, didn't work for him.
Cut it.
But you were just saying the posture.
The posture. Even like Junior Half, she's like, the butt's supposed to be in the front, and he's like out back, like
Booty.
The little booty.
booty. And yeah, so the person needs to keep the perfect posture, body posture for the guy. That's very important. And if you're not having this posture, the dance look not the dance look like a cha-cha or whatever. It's not paso. That's Spanish classical dance.
Definitely.
I agree. I think he did look like he was a little overwhelmed with what was going on, you know. It's got 2 firecrackers of girls next to him that are just like literal whippets. They're just amazing. And I think he was just trying to make sure he was there for them. You know, like you guys say, as the guy, you do have that responsibility of, you know, making sure that the girl lands her lifts, that, you know, you are, Keo says it like he's the frame of the picture. That's how he explains it to me, you know. He's making sure that every picture he's there to hold it, you know. So I think he was more concerned with that and less the embodying the dance and the character of the dance, which is where I think it kind of lacked.
The girls look stronger.
They did. They did. I felt, you know, sometimes you can see someone counting in their head. It's on their face. Like, that's what I felt like with that one. We were like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, we've all been there, and it's hard.
I did notice, I agree with all of you on all of that, but I did notice a shot where he's directly in front of the camera, you know, like the whole camera crew is shooting him. And kudos to him, man. That is not easy. If you've ever, I don't know how many people have, but when you're performing in front of that empty lens and a giant, you know, a cameraman and everything, like, that's hard.
It's so hard.
So I think he did great, but I do agree with all of you.
Yeah. 7, 7, 8, 8. So we got a total of 30. I mean, I think that was decent for. Yeah, I mean, he got through the dance. Like, I don't think he was, like, that's the thing. He wasn't like a disaster out there or anything. It just, you know,
good.
He was good. It's
not
just
perfect.
Yeah, and when you get to like week 8 at this point, you start going, okay.
Quarterfinal.
Yep. All right, let's go on to Allison, Brittany, and Riker doing jazz.
Killed it.
Killed it.
Totally.
Oh my God.
My favorite jazz routine of the season, I think.
I was like, I want to go and dance with them.
That's awesome.
Just jump on the floor.
So much fun.
So good. Yeah.
You know what I really liked? It really was classic jazz, and this is what I appreciate about Allison's choreography. I mean, it had different levels. They did different formations. They did the classic jazz inside-outside double turn. I was like, yes!
Yeah, you were tweeting about it.
Oh my gosh, I was dying over it because
you
don't see it that often anymore. It's kind of like those steps of days gone by.
Well, this is what Allison brings to the table that's extra special. And I'm not surprised it was one of your favorite jazz routines because a lot of the other jazz routines were wah, wah, wah this season. A little sad, not so jazzy. What was that?
But this had content.
This was awesome. It was insane on every level. Yeah.
That's what you do when you get given jazz. That's exactly what you do.
Yes.
You don't do what some of the other couples have done. You know, that was authentic. It was energy, energy, energy. And Riker is just outstanding. I think I'm gunning for him for the finals for sure. Yeah, because he has worked so hard. He has embodied every dance that he's been given, and I think that their partnership as well. It's really grown. You know, I really, really enjoyed that routine.
Me too.
Great.
That's
He was
Nothing to
leading
it.
that party. He was in front. 2 girls were a little behind him. And he was just, you know, on his own dancing and doing things and not even like, he didn't have to have his partner next to him because he was like leading that. So that was great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's excellent.
In order for us to focus on him with Allison Holker behind you, you have to kill it.
Yeah.
That's true.
You just do.
She's one of the best dancers out there dancing professionally right now, especially at what she does, her style. Oh my God, you know, and it's just always like Allison, and I love that Riker's able to step up and match her. It's really, really hard to match Allison Holker, I agree. So 10, 9, 10, 10, and I loved that Aaron said, that was a 10 party, Len. Because he's the one that got 9.
That was a 10 party.
Come on.
Yeah, they should have got all 10s.
Especially because this really was the standout jazz that we've seen this season. So I was kind of like, what was he judging it on?
Well, Len all season has said he's sick. You know, they're always like this, so fast, hard hitting, and he hasn't really seen much different from them.
But he should.
fair
The
to
Viennese.
say.
I think the Viennese waltz would be the fair comment for that. Like jazz, to me, could be hard. It can easily be hard hitting. I don't know. I just didn't agree with. I thought it was a 10 party too.
I'm not disagreeing.
Kim, Robert, and Jenna doing the samba. Wow, that was a moment of silence on that one.
Yeah,
okay,
I love the beginning.
I did too. That's what I wrote. I said I loved that opening. He killed it.
He killed it.
Oh, this was the supermodel one,
Did you see
right?
his face?
He was loving it.
Purposely doing that.
It was really well executed. The performance of that, I thought that was fantastic. And here's the thing: he's had trouble with musicality, and the song was not easy.
Not easy.
And you saw him get off, and he was off the music and everything. But you sit there and think he didn't lose his smile. He just kind of like let the ladies kind of guide him and get him back on track to finish the number. Mm-hmm. What more can you ask for?
Not too much. I mean, he did all he could do, and he definitely put it out there, didn't he? You know, I don't think he can have any regrets with what he produced week after week. So, yeah, I think he did a good
Great
job.
beginning, great ending, a little messy in the middle, but
That's
he
happened.
got through
Sometimes
it.
happen.
And, you know,
It's nerves.
It's great.
It's nerves and it's the routines. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's trying to remember all that.
Two partners, too much women. Hesitating who, Kim,
Jenna.
Kim.
It's true though. You're like, what do I do? I don't know. So many pretty people.
But Kim, she always picked the right concept for the routines for her performance. So, you know, it was the right decision to set up this kind of runway with the girls. So it's
different. It was
clever.
fun. It's very different. It was great.
Great idea. Because maybe when she goes to Australia, maybe she pick up some ideas and then using them.
Yeah, you never know.
never
We've
know.
seen other dances that look similar to the U.S. ones on other of the versions. So it's always like, oh, we've seen that concept before somewhere. Yeah, and I mean, I think Robert should walk away from this experience super happy. He did threw his heart out there every single week, and I think we all appreciated it as viewers. So
Yeah, great couple.
Yeah,
to watch this
beautiful.
season.
great couple. And hey, you know, maybe they'll get married.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be nice.
Perfect.
Who was it? Was it Shirley or Corky that said that she's going to
Put
get
a
an
ring on
engagement
it?
ring? Yeah,
Oh,
it was
gosh,
Shirley.
who was
Maybe
it?
I think it might have been
It
Shirley.
might have been Shirley, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's like, oh, I think she's
Then
going
we're
to
gonna
get a ring.
Party.
Party.
I'm
Wedding.
Wouldn't that be
Sweaty.
sweet?
That will be a billionaire's wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way to go, Kim. All right.
Real, we need Kristyn to come back here to the table. Where'd she go?
I hope he still gives her the Ferrari. Was it the Ferrari?
Ferrari.
I think he should still give it to her.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
She did a great
She's
job.
gonna
with
get
him.
some great gift. We know that.
7787 was their final score. So 29 altogether. Then we go to, it's Dasha again. Dasha and Nastya. I love that. Doing the jive. I loved this concept because Derek obviously wanted to dance and he wants to be there for Nastya. He's not at 100% yet. And so how do you make it happen? And he thinks of a really clever, kind of amazing concept.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved the way she went in between both of them.
That
It was
slide
fantastic.
when she
Yeah.
landed at Derek's feet, I was like, oh my God. That was great.
It's so good, I think, when you have such a talented celebrity because then you are able to be so creative.
Really cool.
But I want
love
to
that
add, you know,
number.
like about Nastya, like you dance with the Olympic champion in Russia, so they slightly different rather than other celebs. They can do a lot of stuffs like, you know, splits and, you know, tricks. They maybe remember steps, like they can figure out the faster way, but they have another problem. So tell us about this, how they can manage to dance with the partners, and especially this week that she danced with the two partners.
mean,
For them, they're usually performing by themselves single. Yeah, like it's
Not
solo.
sure about gymnastics,
But same.
But with ice skating, especially with a single ice skating, they never danced with a partner before. They can't hold their center, so they're extra flexible. The same thing. Remember the week 1 or 2, Len said that you're too Nastya, that she's too stretched. You know, like she can't.
Flexibility,
Too flexible.
yeah.
She-
They need to show her
she
back.
doesn't- Yeah. So that's one of the hardest thing, and it's difficult to with such a short period of time to train.
To train
So-
and dance with the partner, and with her situation, she needs to manage two partners right now, and that's her challenge, to dance and trust and be not just do her own stuff. So she needs to trust with the leading and with this routine. So she kind of like dance with this one in different rooms so fast. So she kind of managed both of them. Not the guy lead her. So she jumped all over with them, and that's her improvement, that she managed to dance no matter like who's her partner right now.
She had to lead the way.
She lead the way.
Yeah, and she had to like be there on time to get to Derek or to get to Sasha.
And it's a double routine with both of them, so it's like double amount of steps.
Double challenge.
Double challenge.
And
That's
jive.
And jive.
You know.
Which is hard. And she said she was having,
Yeah.
she said that was hard.
Yeah, it doesn't come natural.
And right now they're not using a lot of tricks or lifts, so which show her possibilities like flexibility. So they're using proper steps and musicality, rhythm, technique, and that's her challenge. So they're not using her like classes.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that.
He trained her as normal dancer, like normal girl, with its steps, with the brush her feet, or like pick up the right way of your knees and kicks and flicks. So she learned the technique. It's not only tricks.
That's good, you know, and that's what you want to see too at this stage of the game.
That's true.
She did tweet out something about thanking Derek for being an amazing partner and friend, and then also about helping her break down her walls, which was interesting. It was visually like completely compelling for me. I mean, this is Derek's work that I've kind of been waiting for all season. And like I said, I think the injury is a blessing in disguise. I mean, you always have to look for the positive. And for me, that's what's coming out of it. He has the time to create. Like,
That's an Emmy-nominated type of routine.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the camera work on that was fantastic too. They always have to give props to the guys behind the scenes because
Production.
the way they did the side and the front view, and they just really captured it well. I thought that was incredible. All 10s, very well deserved. I don't think any of us would say anything otherwise. And then the final couple or trio of the night, Rumor, there's Artem, and Val doing a paso.
I told Val this, I just have to say this really quick. I wished I had been her. Like all season, there's usually one number, and I was like, yes! I need to be in between those two men. That is hot, smoking, sizzling, just men.
Tell us how you really
God! Sorry.
Do you have some ice? Canada.
Tell me, you guys have to have felt that at home too. Artem and Val dancing and oh my, come on. Okay, sorry.
How was the dancing?
The dancing I thought was fantastic. That was just a great partnership. The three of them together was just fire, and Ruma just handled it. She just handled business, as per usual, and it was just electric. It really, really was. It just seems to me like they're taking it back to the classical, like back to real dance, taking us back to almost like a comp. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just watching a full-on dance routine. And I felt like the boys were really dancing too. When you get to see the pros really giving it, because sometimes you do have to hold back if your celebrity doesn't have, but those guys were going for it. Perfect way to end the show. Definitely.
What did you guys think of the paso?
I thought it was great. I saw the real paso doble that we always wanted to see. And the trio, great trio. Artem, Val, Rumor, she killed it. Those guys, of course, killed it. Great dancing, great technique. The quality of that dance was 100% like in the super high level. And I thought, when you watched a paso doble like on the competition and you see it, you don't like clap and go crazy. You go into that dance. They take you into it, like you living the moment with them, and that's what I felt. Like I lived the moment with them, like from the first second until the last second. It was great. Loved it.
And this trio was originally with PETA, and they changed the concept during the week.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and they switched out for Artem. So kind of interesting. They didn't mention it in the package, but that's
Good call.
yeah. I mean,
reasoning was,
I guess when you have a vision too as a choreographer, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not working. Maybe with two women, time to swap it out and everything else. So. Good way to end the night. I mean,
cheers to all for the two men in the trio.
Right? Whoever made that happen. She's forever grateful.
I already told them I thought it was smoking hot.
yeah, perfect score. She got a perfect score on both of her routines. So obviously setting herself up to be.
Oh, wow.
Because they do it on
But
American
then
Idol.
And then we
Twice
had like
double.
6 couples in the final. No,
Five.
that's too much.
Five couples.
Everybody, you're all in the final.
Can all come.
Oh, you started with 13. You're all in the final. No big deal. Before we do wrap up, just talk a little bit about Adelina, because she was amazing. I mean, I followed her.
She's
so
coming to LA next week on the 9th. Yeah, we're gonna go and watch Dance with the Stars on Monday and Tuesday probably. She's amazing. I've never met such a focused, hardworking person, so talented, down to earth, strong character, fighter, wanted to do it until the last moment. I was really tough, not like Lisa. I was really, really tough. Really good, amazing. I'm really happy. I had a chance to dance with someone and actually show what I can do.
And congratulations.
Thank
I know
you.
you guys came in second, but you also won the Audience Choice Award.
Yes.
Yes.
Means you guys were loved. How was judging for you? Because you had to judge Gleb.
I never judge him like judge celebrities, the girls, like their improvement and their ability to dance. So, and I was like, because for me, all Russian celebrities, I don't know them, because we never lived for the past 10 years, we used to live in US and Australia and Hong Kong. So I was like, I have no idea are these celebrities, how big are they. So I was like, okay, if you do mistakes, I give you 6. If you like, I don't care about your ranking or like how big you are. So I was like I'm trying to was really fair and honest. If you're doing great job, you're gonna have 10. If you're like,
she was like Glenn, a grumpy Elena.
oh, if I don't like your stuff, I give you like 6.
Waiting, what's she gonna get? Like 6.
And one couple was like, I show up like 1, and like everybody, and then I turn up, they like it's 10.
Like 0.
Did Gleb ever give you a look like, are you kidding me?
No.
He knew better.
He always said to me, like, be fair, whatever. If you're doing good, give us a good marks. If you're doing not good, so it's give us like the marks
She gave
we
us
deserve.
7 or 6 couple of times.
8, because like she was like stepping, like she danced rumba from the hill. I was like, that's not the right way.
Like, no.
And
No.
she hated it. She was like, no, Rumba is supposed to dance from the toe. 6.
There you go. You got it. And you're headed to Strictly Come Dancing this fall.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Super excited. Thank you.
So you're all going to London.
Yeah.
Yes.
London. The rain.
Oh, I think it'll be amazing.
California sun.
I know California sun
Weather.
is.
But we're gonna be back.
You'll be come back to California after.
Yeah.
Yes.
Straight after the season.
Very good.
Maybe for season 22.
Yeah.
You never know.
Hope so.
And we should just ask,
Rob and Ashley.
have you seen Lisa Vanderpump, by the way? Yeah.
Not yet. She tweeted me. She actually sent me a message. She was like, welcome back. When are we getting for dinner? I was like, okay, let's do it.
You have to go to Pump.
Yes.
Pump and have a meal. Yes.
Or Sir.
Or Sir, either one. All
Or
good.
Villa Blanca.
Or Villa. We'll advertise all of them here.
They're all really good.
Maybe it's gonna be a house party.
Or maybe a house party.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
That's a fancier.
Yeah,
Way
even
fancier.
better. Can we go?
Right?
Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
love
you.
having you here. Welcome
Thank
the first
you.
time in the
Thank you so
studio.
much.
Can you tell everyone where they can find you online?
Yes, please.
Twitter.
Twitter, Elena Samodanova, and Instagram, same way. So we have website www.samodanova.com, and your turn.
And at GLEB_Savchenko, SAVCHENKO. Instagram, Gleb Savchenko Official. I don't remember my website, but
No, I remember
just follow me on Twitter.
www.glebsavchenko.net.
Seriously,
Amazing.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope at Suri Serano.
Darvina.
I'm at Diva Darv on Twitter and Instagram.
Diva Dolph. All right. I love her accent. I have so many accents here. I know. She says dance, and I'm like, dance. All right. I'm Kristyn Burtt, at Kristyn Burtt on Twitter and the Kristyn Burtt on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.